So Zerkesi and Morgenholt are the only two people who ever saw those algorithms.
And Morgenholt is dead. And Zerkesi is connected to a mystery guest we know nothing about.
Dvorak.
Morgenholt and Zerkesi are geeks, not terrorists. Maybe this Dvorak is some kind of puppeteer.
No hitter, bottom of the eighth.
2-0, New York in the eighth. Akira Watanabe is on the mound. He's pure concentration, pure focus.
This is no coincidence. You're on your way to the Big Apple. Bruce Morgenholt and Abraham Zerkesi were partnered together on Project Watson, the UN committee that cracked the mass kernels. They're the ones who discovered 512 encryption, the same encryption used in the messages you recovered at MCAS Bank. If this so-called Dvorak person has somehow gotten his hands on mass-based IW algos, we're in a world of hurt.
I've been trying to penetrate Zerkesi's private network since we connected him to this mess. I've seen some tough network security before, and I expected Zerkesi to have top-of-the-line tech, but this is crazy. Zerkesi's server isn't just impenetrable or invisible, it's like looking for a shadow in a pitch-black room. It's driving me crazy.
Things are turning sour in New York. It's been 24 hours since the blackout, and no one has a clue when it might end. We've got sporadic reports of unrest all over Manhattan, but it hasn't started to spill over yet. Word coming down from above is that the National Guard will be deployed within the hour. We'll need to insert you into an alley behind a building adjacent to the target building. Watch out for civilians.
What's up, ladies and gents? Sinistry01, your host. Welcome back to more Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. This is our ghost walkthrough on expert mode, achieving 100% and trying to set up as many challenges as we can. So for this next mission, which is called Penthouse, obviously we're going to continue to go in with the assault loadout. The only reason we're doing that is just to say, hey, we're not using any of these extra gadgets. Still, this video is not going to have any of those SC20K gadgets. Very minimal interaction with the environment. Only one save, even though we actually get through the entire thing without restarting. So technically we play it through one time, but I do save at the heliport just in case something would have happened, but it doesn't end up happening. So with that being said, the challenges are just like the previous video, and of course it's go time.
Fisher, the National Guard was deployed into Manhattan about an hour ago.
I feel safer already.
Watch your fire, Sam. Those boys aren't expecting to see you and they'll attack on sight. Do not, I repeat, do not kill any of them.
I'll be careful.
Good.
Now, the only thing that makes these sections difficult is the fact that some of the enemies will do different things. Like this guy, he turns around. He took longer to turn around than he normally does. There are little situations here and there throughout this game where you repeat a certain section or something like that. Enemies will do different things. They will not always do the same exact thing. But getting through this shouldn't be too difficult for you to be able to figure out. Now here in this section, obviously, these are National Guardsmen, therefore we are not taking any of them out. We're not going to do that, period, anyways. But as far as the story goes, these are not the ones that you were worried about. You're just trying to get to the area of where you need to go. Now, sometimes you can be heard when you're crawling down this pipe. Sometimes you can't. It's very, very random, and it makes no sense.
You have enough light down here?
Think so. These barricade lights are battery operated, so they should be okay. I have flares too if I need them.
All right. Then we'll concentrate on getting power to the CP before we break out to the perimeter.
Sounds good.
Try to stick as close to that right side of that door as you saw me do, of that little entrance point. And hopefully you'll be able to get through.
Fisher, looks like the National Guard are trying to restore the power to the building's elevator. That's probably your best way to the top.
I'll see if I can hitch a ride.
It'll be a long climb if you don't.
You need to be very quick. As soon as this guard moves, you need to start moving. If you do not, there's another guard that comes through, and he will pretty much find you immediately. So you do need to be careful and just continually move up. This video is a little bit longer because there are certain sections that enemies just would not allow us to get by, because when we're playing it the way that we are with no perceivement,
What's the status on that?
it is very difficult. Therefore, you cannot rush through some certain areas without being perceived. So you have to take your time in certain areas, and you're going to see that here, as there's going to be a few sections where the guard would normally move in this pattern, but for some reason they decide not to, and they just stay where they are, or something similar to that effect. So yes, this is not going to be the fastest Ghost walkthrough that you see, but it's the only one that does it without being perceived, and therefore it creates whole new challenges that just you don't see in anyone else's videos. You want to make sure that you stay right here. If, say, you were to save, this guard would do something different. If you were to save here and then restart from that checkpoint, the guard would not move up immediately. He would stay in one location, and you can actually get by him like way quicker, almost like a minute to two quicker than you can if you go through it for the first time. So if you've watched my live stream previously, you'll see that when I was going through these, learning the levels, and we were saving at specific spots, guard behaviors completely changed. So it's going to make things interesting going forward when you practice something and you get versed on it, and then you go back and try to do that, but then realize that because you're not saving, everything changes, and the guards don't do the same. They don't react the same way. Makes it a lot more tougher. Here, you want to just move slow. Don't risk, being hurt or anything like that. And we're just going to get up here. There are some times that you can actually get to that little spot that we're about ready to go to after this, before the helicopter actually gets out and lands. But as you can see, there's the point that I saved, but you saw that I saved, and there are no edits, meaning that, yes, I was planning on restarting this, but we did it all the way through.
Right?
Yeah?
But this guy over here, all his lights are on. How can that be?
Well, the richer you get, the more paranoid you get. Guy probably has his own generator so he can keep his security system running.
Security system? Who's gonna climb 15 floors to break into his apartment?
Like I said, paranoid.
As soon as he says that and turns around, go ahead and move up. Remember, there's a lot of sound, so you can actually move a little faster than what I do here, and hurry up and get against here. As you'll see, the guard has already turned around and would have been looking in your direction, so you do need to be rather quick. Now, in some cases, you can actually make it. As soon as this guy with the flashlight turns around, you can go. But it's not 100%. Sometimes that guy on the far right side, you don't see him right now. Sometimes he will still see you. So it's better to just wait to make sure that you're 100% good. Again, being perceived does not give you an alarm. So if you don't care about that challenge, then go. You're totally 100% fine. You're not going to get caught. However, I don't want them to even know that I'm here, and I reiterate that over and over again, but that's what makes this game more challenging to me.
Fisher, satellite shows you've reached Casey's building. County Clerk's office has construction permits on file for the floors below the penthouse and in the neighboring structure.
Any plans or blueprints on file?
I'll have Grim look into it, but with this blackout.
I understand. I'll see if I can dig up some plans down here.
Good idea.
So we're going to wait till he turns around, and then we're going to immediately go off the rail. You want to go off the rail. Don't follow him behind him.
That's a hired gun if I've ever seen one.
He's no night watchman either. He's a merc. He's got the same kit as the guys who were protecting Lacerda.
This whole situation is getting uglier by the second. See if you can find out who these characters work for.
Will do.
The reason that you don't want to follow behind him, even though you can actually get into the room already and then wait in the dark, is because if you move up any further than what you see me do right here, this guy that is coming out right now, when he goes back, he will talk to the guy at the elevator. And if he does that, then you no longer have the opportunity that you present yourself by if you wait outside of the room. So if we wait outside here, he's going to turn, and then he will not speak to this guy yet, not until the next one. It's kind of like a trigger. So once Sam enters the building, the guard is triggered the next time he comes into this area to talk to that guy at the elevator. So this gives you an opportunity to go in here, get on the left, and you'll notice that once he passes me, when I move, He will then start talking to the elevator guy, which gives us plenty of time to get through here.
How much longer is this gonna take?
It'll be done when it's done.
Done when it's done? What kind of answer is that?
Hey, I got a 220 getting.
Work permits, architectural plans. Interesting. Zerkezi has a hardened panic room off of his bedroom.
I'll check it out.
Looks like he also filed plans for construction in the next building over.
The next building.
I'm no architect, but if I'm reading these plans right, both buildings are connected across a rooftop. I'll leave the relevant data on your OBSAT. Should help you navigate.
Thanks.
Fisher, Zerkezi's cameras project an infrared beam so they can see in the dark.
If it's an infrared beam, I can see it in my night vision.
Exactly. And listen, it would help us keep tabs on Zerkezi if we could use these cameras against him.
Gotcha. I'll try and run some taps.
Good work, Fisher. That's one camera tapped. There should be 5 more.
I'll keep my eyes open.
They're all pretty easy to spot. So when you go into this area, these are the only really distractions you have to do. And we're going to be doing a whistle. Otherwise, you could turn off the light.
What's that noise?
But the whistle to me is better because I feel like if you just turn off the light, to me it's like, okay, why would a whole light just go out and then I look at the switch and I see that the switch has been pressed. Someone had to have pressed that down. Therefore, I feel like that would give up my no traces. So whistling, you know, there's many people can interpret it whistling in different ways. I'm just trying to justify why I do the things the way that I do to make it more challenging.
Hey, I don't recognize you. How long have you been with this place?
3 months. I just got transferred up from Peru. I was on the VIP detail down there.
This place? That's Doug Shetland's company.
I know.
Fisher, if Shetland turns out to be crooked...
If Shetland is crooked, I'll take him down myself. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Could be. See if you can find out who's in charge of this protection detail. Maybe someone inside this place is playing both sides.
You got it.
So we have to wait for this guy to come through. Once he does come through, he's going to do a turnaround, but he'll turn around to the left. Make sure you don't get off this cover here too quickly, because even though you're still completely in the dark, he will still perceive you, and then he'll come look for you. The other guy's already turned around, so you're free to move this way. So we're going to grab the second camera, and also the third one is in this room as well. This is also where you exfiltrate. And there's going to be a sneaky way to exfiltrate as well, so you don't have to use the OCP. I think we only use the OCP a total of, what, 1 time in this mission? Which you really don't even have to. You could do some other type of distraction when we go back into the other area, because it's that guard that's sitting in that one room where we whistled, where we have to use the OCP on the radio. You don't have to use the OCP on the radio. You can do some other type of distraction, maybe throw a bottle, but I just feel that, I don't know, in certain situations, everything that I do is always set up to where exactly how I feel Sam would in this situation. Now here was another difference between saving and not saving. So when I was going through this mission, when I would save just a little bit before this point, it reset this guy's timing. So therefore he never came up immediately after I was done tapping that wire. So therefore I was able to go ahead and move on continually and free. So these are situations where sometimes saving can actually help you to get through the mission even quicker, because it changes enemies. It's like the game notices something different and it resets enemy timers or something like that. Don't worry about this guy seeing you. As long as you're underneath the sound meter, you're 100% stealthy. And then we'll move on and grab the 4th camera tap. This is also where the panic room is, where you can get the other objective.
Good work, Fisher. That's 4 of 6 cameras tapped.
I'll keep an eye out for the other 2.
Remember, we still shut all doors, make sure that we leave no traces.
Gotcha.
Who?
Dvorak.
Where is he?
According to this, he's in the building next door. You can get there across the rooftop through the magnetically locked doors.
How do I get through the doors?
They're not magnetically locked anymore.
Thanks for the help.
All right, so here, this is where you can do the famous wall jump, split jump if you want, but there's no real reason to do it. So what you're going to want to do is get over here in this corner and then angle yourself exactly how I do. Once they're done talking, the guard is going to come out. Wait a few seconds, but don't be too slow because you want to make sure that you get in to where you don't have to open the door. If you have to open the door, the guard inside will turn and hear the door open, and then you will be caught. So the only way this works is if you get in the door before the door closes from when this first guy opens it. It's not difficult to do, but at the same time, you do have to be a little bit more proactive when you're trying to get to the door. The guard that just passed us, he is a guard we absolutely have to take out if you want to be able to complete 100% of your objectives. You will not get 100% if you do not take this guard out. And the reason that you need to take him out is because you're going to interrogate him to get more information, and you need that information for a 100% walkthrough. Otherwise, we would have let him be.
I'm allergic to flowers. Maybe you should talk before I sneeze and accidentally cut your throat.
Oh, good. I'll tell you anything.
Good. Start with your boss. What's his name?
Nedich. Mylon Nedich. He's in charge of all our VIP protection contracts.
And how many of those under his protection has he killed in the last, say, 6 weeks?
What?
What kind of scam is he running?
I don't know about any scam. I swear.
Mylon Nedich. Echelon's got nothing. He doesn't even exist.
Well, whoever he is, he's playing both sides. We need to inform Shetland.
No can do, Sam. We can't compromise OPSEC for private interests.
Fine. If I find Nedich, it'll be less of a problem.
Admirable of you to protect your friend, but...
You said he doesn't exist. I'm just correcting a bureaucratic error.
So this situation can be a little tough.
Good work on the cameras, Sam. We'll have guys watching Zerkazy 24/7.
Always happy to keep the donut dippers busy.
Now, you see this guard here. Remember, there's also that guy inside there. So it just depends on timing-wise what happens. I got very, very bad timing here, which adds a lot more time to the video because as soon as the guy behind me turns around, this guy comes, and as you can literally see, you cannot move forward because, yes, you can move forward and you won't be seen and you won't get an alarm. But since we're going no perceivement, which is something we say in every Splinter Cell Chaos Theory video, you have to be a little bit more patient. Here is the only time we're going to use the OCP. Again, you could find a bottle and you could do it that way. You could do a whistle to get by him. There's other different things you could do, but we're going to do the OCP.
Piece of junk.
Unfortunately, you can't just stay on the wall because the moment you come off the wall, you get seen a little. I tried, but you just cannot do it. You can see that all those things that I try out are always done in the live stream before we start recording, so you can always check those out if you want to know my thought process on how I actually go through and figure these things out. Here there are two entrances, one on the bottom and one on the top. We're going to go to the top. That is because we would need to distract a guard on the bottom with another whistle, and I'm trying to limit the amount of distractions. So wait till he turns, and then you can move up here. This is where we're going to be waiting a while. There is a, as you can see, a remote bomb right there. So you got to watch out, because if you move too quick and too fast in this area, it will blow you up. Here's the thing. This guard, he patrols back and forth. He also moves a little bit further down into the room. However, for some reason, he did not want to move further down the room. Really, that's almost the only opportunity that he gives you in order to enter the room. You've got to enter the room fast, and you've got to enter it on the complete left side. If you try to enter the room on the right side of the window or even in the middle of the window, the the remote bomb is going to just blow up because you're moving too fast and it recognizes you and it just explodes. So this takes me a while. I'm thinking, okay, he's not doing what he usually does, and that is move further down the room. So we actually have to time our movements perfect and to the T if we want to get this to work. He's just going to keep going back and forth. So it really is about just really having that perfect timing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get as close to the left side as I physically can while still remaining stealthy. So wait till he's moving back in the other direction, and then we're going to get on the left side of the window. Then we're going to wait for that perfect timing in order to move up. Unfortunately, he just didn't do what we wanted him to do, so that's why this one took a lot longer. During the live stream, it was pretty easy. He moved around and we got in like super quick. So we're going to wait one more. I believe the next one is the one that we're going to do it, and obviously this added an extra 2 to 3 minutes. But when it comes to doing it the way that I'm doing it, obviously you want to be safe and careful. Got to be quick when you move there too, because remember, if your meter is even slightly up, he will perceive you, and then that's it. Here, same thing. Stop first. Make sure you're stopped. Whatever you do, don't go into the vent while you're already pushing forward, because then you could set off the remote. So same thing for coming out. You want to make sure that you stop at the end of the vent, and then you do it. So you don't have to do what I'm about to do here. I'm going to go through it as if this is Sam's first time going through this. He has no idea how to do this sequence. No idea. If you want a faster time, you can do this sequence if you already know what you're doing. Just go ahead. But I'm going to go ahead and do it as if this is Sam's first time and it's a story related.
You must be Dvorak.
Well, Dvorak, huh? I had thought this area was, well, off limits.
You're not Dvorak.
Well, since we're being blunt, well, no.
Then who are you?
Such a rush you're in. Fancy some tea, do you?
Lambert, something weird is happening.
I'll say.
What do I do?
The old man seems harmless. Indulge him. See if he knows anything.
Reminds me of poor old Jiggers. Oh, Jiggers. We hardly knew ye.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, well, one might ask you the same.
I'm looking for a man named Dvorak.
Ah, Dvorak, yes! Well, you're not going to find one. This way! Yes, here we are then. This is Dvorak.
Jesus. I think I just figured out why you couldn't hack in here, Grim.
Yeah, no kidding.
What the hell do I do now?
Hold on while I find a slide rule.
See what the old man knows, Fisher.
Okay. If this is Dvorak, who are you?
I am Dvorak's keeper. Thank you most kindly for asking.
And what is this Dvorak?
Dvorak is, well, you likely wouldn't understand.
I'm sure you're right. But let's have it for the record anyway.
Dvorak is a mechanical representation of a self-referential axiom of number theory. Dvorak encodes its own logical structure within its own executable cycle and recursively derives a more accurate representation of itself with each successive execution.
Right. Grim, did you get that?
My god, it's an infinite state machine.
Fine. What do I do?
If Zerkazy is using this...
Grim.
Sorry, Sam, we're gonna need a copy of Dvorak's output so we can work out the algorithm it's built on.
How do I get its output?
It runs on punch cards.
Punch cards?
You'll need to restart the sequence and initialize each tower in the right order, and then retrieve the output stack.
How do I know the right sequence?
You'll need to hit the switches in order as the tubes start to heat up. Ask the old man for help.
I need your help.
Indeed. What can I help you with, my good fellow?
I need you to help me initialize the Dvorak so I can retrieve an output stack.
Ah, Dvorak. Well, that is certainly something I can help with. Why don't you restart it? I'll initialize the towers on this side, and you can do the other side.
This is pretty self-explanatory. Just do exactly which one lights up. Also, you can do this all by yourself, and you could have done it in like 5 minutes less. But I felt that this is what Sam would do in this situation, since he has no idea how to even do these. And it kind of, I like it. I like actually going through it, and I'm glad that they put this in here to where you can actually have him help you.
Aha! There you go. Your output stack should be ready.
All right, I got the stack.
Good work, Fisher. Time to make yourself scarce. Get to your primary extraction point.
On my way.
If you went through the door downstairs where you saw the red, you'd need to hack it, and there was a guard waiting outside that door. You'd have to distract him in order to get to the bottom area of that outside roof. Remember, we decided not to go that way because we didn't want to have to distract that guard, so we're going to go back this way. Now, everything depends on timing-wise and where the guard downstairs outside on the roof is activated. So sometimes it might take you longer. Maybe he'll be closer to where we're going to be exiting to make it even quicker. But here, stop, then do it, and it should not blow up. There's going to be a guard all the time coming through here as soon as you get to that point. Follow him very closely and exit out the same way you came in. Don't forget to leave a like, everyone. Comment on these videos. Watch them for as long as you can because watch time means a lot. Sharing them on your Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you can. Becoming a member on the channel. All that helps support us so that we can continue to do what we love to do. Again, you know, I love playing stealth games, and I want to let these games shine. Hopefully we'll get some news sometime soon on a new Splinter Cell, but who knows? So all we have are these games to kind of live vicariously through right now when it comes to stealth stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming back. Even though you've seen me play this game before, it still means a lot. Even though the views are not really there, but we just got to keep building and keep growing back. So here, obviously, you're going to wait. We couldn't make it across the roof without that guy actually seeing us. But when you drop down, make sure you drop down on the concrete and not on the gravel because you make too much noise. Here, you probably could have went, but I wanted to be safe because, again, I'm technically doing this with no saves. Even though I did save, this was still that first time, so therefore I did not restart any checkpoint or anything. So at this point, I did not want to take any risks whatsoever, and I'm just going to wait for him. Once he's gone, make sure the other guard behind you can't see you, and then land on the side here. This should make it to where you land soft. Make sure he's not looking, and then go ahead and move forward. We are almost done. All we have to do is get to the exfiltration point. We're going to have to use another whistle distraction. Again, if you don't care about these things, you can just shut off the light. It's the same outcome and no one perceives you. It's just, I don't know, if I was someone's up to something and someone turned off a light, I went to that light and saw that someone flipped the switch when I knew the switch wasn't flipped, I felt like I would be alerted. Even though we did knock out a guy, so already somebody knows that somebody was breaking in. That is clear. I don't know. It's just that personal, like, that perfectionist in me. I always try to strive to make the best quality and to give you guys the challenge that you guys deserve. If we're gonna play again, if we're gonna play a game again for the second time, I want to make sure that we do things we did not do in the first game. So as soon as he moves up, we're going to jump over here and stay to the far right. There is that guard looking from the outside, so you have to stay against this side here or he will see you. Luckily enough, you can get all the way to this point and you're still completely in the dark. So you're just going to wait for him to come back, and once he does, you're going to enter the room to the left. Inside that room is a vent that takes you all the way to the elevator. If you do not use that vent, then you have to OCP the camera, because there is a camera looking directly at the elevator, and you will not be able to get by it without setting off an alarm. So we're going to go directly to the room to the left, and we're going to immediately climb to the left as well. And there you have it, ladies and gents. You've just completed Penthouse. You did it with 0 perceivements and technically with no saves, even though I did save, but I did not use it. And you can see that in the live stream as well if you don't believe me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's been my pleasure, of course, always to bring you these games. And let's check out how we did. All objectives completed, even the bonus objectives, and some missions I will be doing bonus objectives. 1 knockout, 27 minutes and 48 seconds. Again, not a speed run, but a lot of things just made us have to take a little bit more time without getting perceived. It's just one of those things, you know. If you want speed runs, there are plenty of guys out there that do speed runs, but that's not my game. My game is to do it believably, realistically, and have fun, but remain as stealthy, as ghost, as everything as much as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy the time it takes to make these videos. Thank you again for watching. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be safe during all these times, and I will see you next time. Peace out.